Hello friends, it's Charlene with Charlene's Heartfelt Creations. Today I wanted to share with you how I created this envelope folio. It's a trifold using 3 envelopes, but we used 4 envelopes like I told you in my last video. There's a secret envelope in here, although I'm sure you spotted it. But this is one of those things that can be used all year round. You just use different papers. And it can be a standalone item, or it can be something you add to your journal. It can be something that you gift to somebody because you've got all of these pockets that you can stick different things in, pictures. This would make a really cute little brag book for a grandparent. So, okay, so we've got our cover. And then right here I put a bingo pocket, or a bingo card in this pocket. I have a video showing how I embellished my bingo card. And then I just added a little bit of ephemera there. And here's a pocket with some ephemera. This is from the back of a greeting card. It's the greeting on the inside. And then here's the front of the card. And I made it into a postcard. I just tucked it right in there. And then we've got a little tuck flap right there. And these are all envelopes. This is your 4th envelope, cut in half so you can have extra pockets. Because who doesn't like pockets in their books, their ephemera, and all over the place. I love pockets in my books. I feel like I can put so much more in and do so much more with it. So let's get started with this. Alright, so this is the box of cards I'm working with. I got it from the thrift store for 50 cents because their Christmas stuff in the off season is always 50% off. And it's got some really cute cards. I'm hoping to make some different projects to show you with these different cards. Oh, I like this tree one. This one, I really like this one. Winter Wishes, Merry Christmas, and then the envelopes. So we're going to go ahead and pull out 4 envelopes for this project. And these cards were really cute. They all have something on the back side, and they have very nice colors on the back. I like that. That tree one is really pretty. And then they've got the phrases on the insides. So there's a lot you can do with this. I made tabs with one card using the little snowflakes on the inside. So when I get done with the card, like I did the front of the card here, and then I fussy cut this piece out, so I had some card scraps left over, and this is what I like to do with card scraps. I make tabs that I can use later on in my other projects or send off to friends. These are the snowflake ones that I made. And from the back side of those cards, I made these and added some number stamps to it. So I have 1, 2, and 3, and then I have some with some snowflakes. So don't throw those scraps away. Try to make something out of it. This is actually from a pencil box from our school supplies. I thought that's really cool looking. So I saved these in my little mints container and then pull that out and staple them onto different projects. Okay, so first things first, we've got our 4 envelopes here, and you're going to want to go ahead and distress them at some point. You can distress them now or you can distress them later. So I'm going to go ahead and start by gluing everything, and then I'll distress mine in a little bit. So the first envelope is going to slide right into the second envelope. So you'll have them lined up just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this. And I think I got glue all over the other side of my envelope, but that's all right. We're going to be covering all of that up anyway. All right, so that's glued there, and this glue will dry clear, so it's not too big of a deal. And then we're going to take this one here and glue this flap to the underside of this one. Now these envelopes are not super thick. I think this is a pack of cards that somebody actually bought from like the Dollar Tree or Walmart or something. So they're not great quality cards or anything, but they're really cute. All right. So now it should fold over top of itself just like that. So then you're going to go ahead and ink up your edges and distress this a little bit. Okay, now that we've got this all distressed and inked up on the edges, I went ahead and pre-cut my papers. So this is the paper I'm using today. This is a cardstock I got at Hobby Lobby in a pack. I can't remember the price. I will link this in the description along with the paper pack that I got for this. And so I did write my measurements down. My envelopes are approximately 6 11/16 by 4 3/4, and I needed 4 envelopes. Now my brown mat is 6.5 by 4 9/16, and I needed 6 of these. And so we're going to go ahead and adhere all of those onto there. And then my scrapbook paper that I am using right now is, I love these. I used these in my previous video series that I did, and I'm so glad I found a paper pack of this. This I cut down to 6 3/8 by 4 3/8, and I've got 6 of those. This pocket will be cut down to 4 3/8 by 2 15/16, and then these are what we're going to put over it to embellish our pocket, and those are 4 5/16 by 2 13/16, and we needed 2 of those. Okay, so this is, before I keep going, I want to show you this paper pack that I'm using, or this is a whole scrapbook kit. So this is what came in this kit. You had these different papers and the stickers, and then these little die cuts and shapes and stuff like that. And so I've been using a little bit here and there, but here are the stickers. I love these stickers. That's where I got my Santa from for my video. For my video series, I should say. I like this green. Those are really pretty. And then these are all my scraps that I'm hanging on to for tags and borders and maybe a snippet roll or something. These are so pretty. I love this paper. And then this is the die cuts. You got some frames in here. I don't think I'm going to use these like frames. I will probably cut this down. I mean, I almost cut this down and put this right across there with just the houses and not the frame because I love how that looks. But these will turn into borders and things. I don't really use frames. And then this is what we use right in here to create the little tuck. So I'll actually set that aside. But there's some really cute pieces. I'll show you some more of that in a little bit when we go to add some ephemera to our pocket. But this was $6.99, and I bought mine when it was 40% off. And I'm just kind of keeping all my little scraps in this. That way I have it close by for now instead of adding it to my binder of scraps. These are the only 2 full sheets I have left. And I was so excited to find this. I bought this for 40% off the $12.99 price, but the paper in this is so pretty. Let's see. You got Vintage Santa, plaid, and this is really nice textured paper. It's all textured and it's pretty thick. So these will be fantastic. This is much nicer than the stuff that came in the pack. This is not textured and it's thinner paper than what's in this. This is pretty, but you know what this reminds me of? The old McDonald's fry box. And the trees, and it's textured. So it's, I just keep rubbing my hand across it. And the wreaths. Love this page. Christmas lights. I love this one. This is adorable. That would be really cute. Torn and put on a page for a pocket. I like that. Candy cane stripes. This is pretty too. The Dear Santa, little postage and stuff. Poinsettias. Pine cones. I like this paper a whole lot. We're putting two little sheets of our red paper into the other one there, into our little envelope book. I like this. This collage. And then that's the last page. But this is a great paper pack. I bought 2 of these. I really like this paper. I don't have to be so stingy with my paper now since I found the paper pack. I can actually start using some of this, but I will still try to go through all my scraps as much as I possibly can. Alright, so our next step in our envelope book is going to be to distress the edges of all of these pages. Okay, now that these are all distressed and glued, we're going to go ahead and attach 3 of them to the outside. So pick your favorite. I like this one, so that's going to be my cover again. And then on the back side, I did this one and this one on the outside. These ones I'm going to set aside because we're going to punch a little hole tab on them. But when it comes to putting these on, you're just going to go ahead and line it up right in the center like we've been doing with everything else. So if you notice here, I put it right over top and I just get as close to the edge as I possibly can. And I use a ton of glue if I can. These are inexpensive and I feel like I can use a ton of glue if I want to. And it holds really well, especially to these envelopes. This glue is going to hold nice and strong on here. And then just center it right on to the cover here. And then, let's see. All right, there's my back side. What I really like about this is it covers up the envelope flaps, so you can't even tell that it's envelopes. I forgot to bring my mat over here before I started filming, so that's another reason why I'm just placing it right on top of here. That way I don't get my work surface all full of glue. Chances are it'll still be full of glue because that's what I usually end up doing. And this stuff, back to school, right now you can buy a bunch of it really cheap. All right, so then this one we're going to put on the inside. It's like the inside cover, back cover kind of thing. Because this is still a solid piece right here, not a pocket piece. And you want to make sure that it's not too far over that it doesn't close. You don't want it to overlap at all, all right? Now, if you find it sticking up at all, you can go ahead. My fingers have glue all over them. You can use these kind of things. This, I love using my tape runner, but the glue, I like how with the glue I can peel it up and reposition it if I need to. All right, so that is the back side all done. And then we're going to go ahead and put these on here, but we're going to go ahead and use a hole punch to give it that edge. Now I'm going to take these and line them up so the hole is like the little indentation is in the same location on both of them, since they're going to be right up against each other. And I'm going to use a little bit more ink to ink that up so you can't really see the white. And I'm going to take this and just line it up so they all seem to line up nicely. I just can't fit 3 of these in here at one time. It's just too much for my hole punch. Okay. And I don't have my nice little brush out here right now for doing this, so I'm just going to use this. The only thing about using this is sometimes you'll have that circular motion right there, the circular look to it, but it doesn't matter. It gives it a nice distressed look still. But you get your outline of your sponge, and then make sure you go back in and do your little tab right there. All right. So we're done distressing for right now, and we're going to go ahead and adhere these. And I just take and put the glue right onto the envelope. That way you're not gluing. If you glue it on your cardstock, you risk gluing your envelope shut, and you want this to be a pocket. Okay. So then we're going to go ahead and line this up right here. Again, making sure you're not too close to the crease, because if you're too close to the crease, you're not going to be able to close your little booklet. All right, so there's that. And like I said, I use a lot of glue. I want it to stay. But I also want the liberty to have some wiggle room instead of putting it down with like my tape runner. Once I put it down with my tape runner, these envelopes are so thin, there's no moving anything. It would just tear the envelopes. That is another reason why I went ahead and matted and did all the extra to this, because these are thinner envelopes. But they still work for what we're doing. And when you can find things like this at the thrift store, it's a neat way to make some projects low budget, you know. Okay, so that's all put together. So we've got our pockets there. And now we're going to take this envelope and our paper trimmer, and we're going to cut this pocket down. Oh, I did close mine up. And I am not licking this envelope. I got this at the thrift store. I am not licking this envelope. All right. So close up your envelope and then cut it down. What did we cut this down to? Let's see. We're going to cut it down 2 15/16. Cut that down right there. And then, so you have a little strip, and I thought this actually could be used for like a belly band or something. It is kind of thin, so that'd be totally up to you to try it out. I did not use mine, but I thought it's like the little band that they have on things when they package them up, so I don't know that I'll save mine. Oh yeah, and we need to cut it down to 4 3/8 because it does not fit this way here if we don't. Okay, 4 3/8, and then you're going to have to seal your pocket back up on the end we open. 1, 2, 3, right there. All right. So then I took my double-sided tape for this part. I want my pocket to hold really well with things going in and out of it. And then I just went ahead and lined this right up against the edge. I'm having such a hard time getting this tape off today. I want it to be all the way to the very top of it though, because you don't want your pocket to have that little flap that doesn't close at the top. All right. And if you have any overhang, just tuck it over and then smooth it out. And that will fit perfectly between here and there. And you know what? I think on my other one, I did the tabs up a little bit higher. So I think I'm going to cut my pocket down just a tad to fit it in there. Let's see. I think I'm going to go to 2 3/4 and we'll see what happens. It's still a little bit high right there. I'm going to have to cut my mat down a little bit too now. But you know what? I don't think I mind it being right there. Okay, but I'm going to cut this one down as well. 2 3/4. So then these are going to be cut down right there. All right. So let's go ahead and seal up this pocket that I didn't seal up yet. And you could make this a double pocket even if you wanted that much space in here, but I felt like there was already quite a bit of pockets throughout the whole thing that I didn't need to attach it and have the back one and a second one there. But it's totally your preference, however you want to do it. All right, that one wrinkled a little, so it came off a little bit easier than the first one. So we're going to go ahead and distress our pocket. Distressed, and we've got the scrapbook paper on there to hide that it's an actual envelope. We're going to go ahead and take this piece and do our little tabs. When I did the tabs on here, I had already attached these and I had to go back in and do the tabs on my original. I'm really bad about remembering to do this beforehand, and so I'm trying to get better about doing it before I attach everything. But there we go. I'm going to go ahead and distress this just a little bit more. And then distress right here a little bit more. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and attach these. And I wanted to attach these with something a little bit stronger than the glue since they're going to be more interactive in my opinion. Whoops. Let's attach that back down. The edge of my envelope came up. And now I have no wiggle room if I don't place it where I want it. Okay, there we go. Oh, I did good. I didn't get any adhesive on that little corner there where it would have stuck. All right. And then we're going to attach this one right and on this side over here. And there is your finished Trifold envelope folio. Now, in this one here, I went ahead and embellished it. I'm going to put this on this one here as well. I thought that was a cute touch to have a little tuck space. And I'm not going to show you how to embellish the bingo card because we did that in a previous video. But we're going to go ahead and add a few little embellishments here and there from this cute pack. And then maybe I'll go ahead and throw some other card pieces in there eventually. But let's see, what do we have in here? That's so pretty. The wreath. That could go right here. And then I didn't bring any of my paper clips or anything, but you've got these beautiful tags that came in this that can be added right into here. Oh, I wish I had my stapler out here because I would just staple that onto one of the pockets. That's so pretty. And then look, you get all these cute little postage stamps with it. Joy. I love these. These cute little die cuts. All right. And I did add on mine, I added one of these little, let's see, this one's ripped. 'Tis the season. I might have to make my own since that one's ripped. I don't want to put that on there. So I will be embellishing this more later on, adding tags. And I will be doing another video to show you some fun stamps and ways you can make some of these into postcards. But this is the finished product. And it's a lot of fun to make. I would love to hear from you if you make one. You're going to have to show it to me. But these would make really cute gifts for grandparents. You could put pictures of the grandkids in here and just put it all over it like a little tiny scrapbook. And then tuck some pictures in here as well. The other thing you could do, and I thought about doing this, was putting a belly band on it, but I didn't want to cover Santa. Look how cute he is. And I do love this paper. I feel like this paper doesn't need anything else. It's like standalone perfect, you know? Or you can take some twine and wrap it around. I did make up a cute little vintage charm that I was thinking about wrapping some twine around this and then adding this cute little charm I made with my X tool. I will be creating some more vintage charms, and I'll have a set of vintage Christmas charms available in my Etsy shop for sale. And then I'm going to go ahead and create a few more of these with some extra embellishments in them to add to my Etsy shop as well. Be sure to follow my shop as well as my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for crafting with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, bye.